Good morning, dreamer, non-believer, and if you were on YouTube the other day, you definitely saw the Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 trailer. And I mean, whew, number 3 on gaming? Quite impressive. Maybe one day. This gameplay trailer gave us a lot to chew on for the next few days until the game actually drops. And I even have a notepad here of ideas I had, things I saw, and I'm gonna go through some of them with you real quick, one for the one time. The trailer opens with Doey's jingle, followed by someone you know hyping up the big bad for the game, the Doctor. Now if you pull up the transcription for the trailer, you see something actually quite interesting. Some of the lines have names next to them, and some of them don't. Like, "You lied to me," which is obviously Poppy, or the, which I'll get back to that one in a second. There's another one which is just unknown, it just says unknown next to it.
I've got something special and more.
And at first you think it's the Doctor, but at the moment I'm not quite sure. It could be the prototype, or it could just be the Doctor, I'm not sure. And I'll get back to that one in a second too. Some other things I noticed in the trailer before I go into the main meat of this video is the fact we see Kissy Missy in the trailer, which means she survived the attack at the end of chapter 3, which is kind of cool. I don't know who she had to scrap with, but whatever happened, she came back and now she looks kind of repaired. So I actually have it written down in my notes as Cyborg Kissy, and that's right above telling you to subscribe. Subscribe. Also, another thing that I like is that the game is following the tone of each chapter kind of getting darker than the last. While we've seen splashes of blood, we are now outright seeing corpses of the security guard of this prison. And body bags just hanging from the ceiling, which is, you know, nice touch. By the end of the trailer, we get to see Doey himself. And I think not only is he the one giving us the exposition at the beginning of the trailer about the Doctor, I also think he's the one that says, "I failed you. Let me cook." I don't have too much to go off for this because he has a really high-pitched voice when he says, "Hiya, pal." But then he goes, "Follow me."
Hiya there, pal. Follow me.
So I think his "Hiya, pal" was him kind of putting on the persona of Doey, and then the "Follow me" was him getting real for a second. We also see throughout the entire trailer trails of Doey just on the ground. So I'm thinking maybe he's the one guiding you and Poppy throughout the prison for whatever objective you may have. And we know he's been down here for a while because there's a painting on the wall that matches the pattern on his stomach. The colors are different sides, but I don't really think that's that big of a detail. It's obviously supposed to be him, a big blue blob with 2 yellow and orange hands. Now the kids in this mural are all sad. I'm not too sure about that. And there's also to the left a X out Poppy painting. I'm also not too sure what that means in the context of the prison.
Yo, it's your boy, Editing Tyrant. And, so I don't know how I didn't realize this sooner, but it's a bubble. Doughboy is protecting the other toys. It's a bubble around them. And then the little thing to the left, it doesn't say they, it says she left us, and is to Poppy specifically. I don't know what that really means within the context. Does that mean Poppy was in the prison at one point and just left him down there? I'm not too sure, but I think but at least for the main part of the mural, I think that does kind of support my theory that Doughboy's here to help us since he's, you know, protecting the other toys from the bad outside red paint.
But if I'm being 100% honest here, all of that is not what I'm too worried about. There's one line in the trailer that really stuck out to me.
They call him the Doctor. He works with the prototype, commands everything down here. Hunting us, starving us.
So those lines are, you know, telling us about the TV man himself, the Doctor. While it does seem like the normal hyping up the main villain thing for the game coming up, the line "he works with the prototype" doesn't sit right with me. The current running theory is that Dr. Harvey Sawyer...
Yo, so nice I did it twice. Editing Tyrant here. Just to say, I don't know when or why, but I just started calling him Harvey Sawyer instead of Harley Sawyer, so yeah, have fun with that for the rest of the video.
Is, well, the Doctor, TV man. And we know Harvey Sawyer is the one responsible for the Bigger Bodies initiative. The whole thing that made the orphans into the toys and supposedly made whoever into the prototype. I mean, yeah, he could just not know that Harvey got turned into the TV man, but this would be the biggest cop-out, and it honestly wouldn't work either. We have video evidence of the prototype kind of threatening Harvey.
You thank me? Absolutely. I learn something new about you every day.
And so he would know Harvey's voice too well to not know that's him, considering he mimics it, which makes it all the more weird that he's working with him. And again, it's not for the prototype, but with, and I think that's the key word. Now, I feel like it's no secret the prototype wants a new body to make for himself, so maybe he's willing to put the differences aside for a moment so the doctor helps him get a new body. But then again, the prototype should know Harvey will definitely betray him, and then also, the doctor also should definitely know the prototype will probably betray him. I also imagine with the way things are going now, there's not that many chapters left to the game. You know with Sirica, I had to change camera angles for this joint. Lock in. So my theory is that we'll meet Doey pretty early on in the chapter. He'll give us the expo dump about the doctor, but then he'll also lead us through the prison to help avoid Yarnaby and help us do our objectives, explaining the trail of dough we see throughout the trailer. We try to take down the doctor, but we'll get betrayed by Ollie, revealing himself to be the prototype about halfway through, resulting in not only this line,
But also,
I've got something special and more.
which I imagine would be him transitioning from Ollie into the doctor, which is why he kind of sounds like the doctor, but a little bit off. But also, killing Doey in the process because of the betrayal. And as he says his final lines, and the reason why I think it's him saying that is because it's either him or someone we haven't met yet, and I can't theorize about that. So at that point, we have been too late to stop the doctor, and he would have made the prototype his new body. And before the prototype can keep up his end of the bargain, which I imagine is helping release the doctor from the either prison or release him from the factory as a whole, well, he'll probably kill the doctor. He has a history of killing people once they stop being useful to him, like Catnap back in chapter 3. And I imagine at the very end of this chapter, right after he betrays the doctor, or we take him down, whichever one ends up happening, we'll see his body, not like that. We'll see the prototype in his new body, his new form, setting himself up as the final villain for the final chapter, chapter 5. Well, until the inevitable sequel, of course, because dang, this game made so much money. Or who knows, maybe I'm completely off the mark. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Good night. Got him burning up.
Written in the back of my old diary, I gotta break sometime. It's underlined and red, scrawled across the screen beneath the spider ring. I gotta break sometime.